Hello everyone, welcome to Awkward Author. My name's Alyssa Grasso, and this is my weekly vlog and podcast about my sometimes awkward, always awesome author life. This week I do have my author income report for you, so I'll share that with you in a bit. If you're watching this on a video, you can tell I'm probably not in my office. I look like I'm just in kind of a strange white room. That's what it looks like on the video. I'm actually in the living room, and there is a good reason for that. Hopefully the acoustics are not too weird in here. They seem a little different. It's a high ceiling in here. Anyway, the reason I am in here and not in my office is because right now my office is income tax land. It is filled with papers and piles and folders and all sorts of good stuff, and my taxes are not yet done. I have made significant strides, and I do expect to probably hit the finish line tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, which will be when I put this video and podcast out. But in the meantime, it's a little hairy in the office. I'll just say that. And it's a little hairy in my head because I am just I'm not a big fan of doing taxes. I think I complained about it last week, and I'm complaining about it this week, I guess, too. It's just it's such a chore. And even when you kind of have a system, like I've been doing, income-wise, like the same sort of thing for the past few years now. So you would think like I have this down to a science, but then I can't just, be like, do what I did last year, because every year something changes. And so there's like these new weird schedules, and then you gotta look up the instructions and figure things out. And so anyway, my taxes are not yet complete, but hopefully will be done on Wednesday, and I can put those behind me, and that will be a huge relief because I was procrastinating about them for a long time and then working on them, and I'd just like to get back to not having to think about them at all. So as a result of working on taxes, I really have not made much progress on writing things. Honestly, everything gets shifted to the back burner to get these taxes done. I've done a little bit more work on the outline for my next book, and I had kind of a breakthrough idea, over the weekend. I know pretty much generally what the story's going to be, but got these three different characters, and the one character, I don't know, I wasn't really totally happy with his storyline, and I had sort of a breakthrough inspiration or whatever over the weekend. And anyway, long story short is I think I have a very good idea of where I want to go with that character, and I'm very happy about how things are going. So still very early in the outlining stage, but soon I'll be able to get to writing, I think. I did have a question last week in the comments on this video about, why I'm going to be putting out a 3-book series and writing the whole series before I put out a single book, before first testing the first book in the series, which is the traditional way of doing things, traditional meaning traditional publishing, and even just kind of general, traditional, the way you would do something if you're going to do a 3-part, series of some sort. But I gotta, mess with tradition now. I'm not really, it really isn't necessarily my idea. It's just from a lot of reading and research I've done as far as, marketing goes, book marketing, and especially when you're marketing ebooks, indie books. There is a huge benefit to having a series, and there's a lot of things you can do, marketing tricks wise, if you have at least a 3-book series or even a longer series. And so I'm curious about trying out some of those things. And yeah, I could put out the first book and then wait and put out the next 2. But from what I'm reading, from what I've looked into, there could be a huge benefit to having the 3 come out pretty close to each other. So that's why I'm going to do that and try that out, and we'll see how it works. And, I may decide I'm never going to do a series again, or I may decide I'm going to do more series. We'll see. I don't anticipate, well, I should never say never, but I don't really anticipate this series, going beyond the 3 books, although I do have a character who could technically go beyond the 3 books, but that isn't my plan for this series. I would probably do other series beyond that later. But that's getting way ahead of myself. First, let me write this one, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm still planning on putting out the 3 books, not necessarily all at the same time, but in close proximity to each other, so I can, try out some different marketing tricks and see how those go. And so that's a good segue for getting into my author income report, I guess, because I'll tell you, it's not much different than last month, which wasn't terribly exciting. And I think the big challenge I have right now is, even though I have a backlist, I have my thriller that I put out, and then do have a thriller novella that I'm kind of using as a reader magnet, really, to promote the other book. But I don't, my other backlist titles are all like young adult books, plus I do have a nonfiction book out there. So while it's great that I have all those books out there, I don't really have a good way to market them. They're all standalone books, every single one of them, and it's something I've found is a challenge, trying to market these like single standalone books. So that is why I'm going with the series thing and going to try to do that marketing, because right now I'm doing pretty much no marketing for my books. I have a couple of AMS ads running, I think, but they're just not, they're not doing anything, as far as I can tell, really. Barely anything. The problem too is that, I'm not spending, when I give you my author income report, I'm not spending much money on AMS ads because they're just not, being shown that much. I'm kind of annoyed because I had a really good ad for my nonfiction book, for my Etsy book, and it was the type of ad that they discontinued, and I'm probably going to get the name wrong because they had like 2 ad types that were like, one was product display and one was sponsored products. And I think they got rid of product display, but maybe it was sponsored products. Whatever, the names never really meant anything to me. I don't know. To me, they were just very like generic sounding names, and they didn't really go with what the ads did. But whichever one they got rid of, that was the ad that was doing really well for me for my Etsy book, and so I haven't been able to duplicate that with the other ad type, unfortunately. So yeah, that's my little pet peeve there with, Amazon changing the ad thing. So really right now I have like 2 ads running, sort of barely, and I'm barely spending any money on them, and I'm barely getting any results from them as a result of that. But I will share with you what I actually did earn this month, and from my books I'll show you the total, then tell you what I spent on ads, and then give you the actual, profit from my book sales. And I'll bring up a little graphic here. So I'll disappear and show you the graphic. If you're listening on the podcast, I assure you, you're not missing much. It's not that exciting a graphic, I promise. Anyway, so let me get into what I made this month and bring up my pie chart. So once again, this month, the vast majority of my income came from Amazon. Now, most of my books are wide, but I still continue to get most of my sales from Amazon. Now, I do use AMS ads, and that are the only ads I have running right now, so that can be part of the reason that I do get so many sales from Amazon. And right now, just a trickle of sales on the other retail sites. I'll start with those. I made $2.80 from Apple, $3.17 on Ingram Spark, $3.39 on Barnes & Noble, and then I do have some signed copies of my books for sale on Etsy. I sold one of my Etsy books on Etsy and made roughly $4 from that. And then on Amazon, I made $98.92. And the breakdown for that was $68.07 from ebooks and $30.85 from print books. Most of those are US. Actually, a third of the print books were UK, but again, it wasn't very many print. But the ebooks were almost all US, with a couple of Canadian sales and a single Australian sale making up the balance. So altogether, $108.28. But I did spend some money on AMS ads, and so I spent a total of $25.44 on AMS ads last month. So that left me with a profit of $86.84, which is a little bit more than I made last month, but it was also a little bit longer month, and honestly, it's close enough that I would say not a significant difference. And I don't really foresee there being a significant difference anytime in the near future, because I really don't have I don't have any marketing strategy that I can figure out just to, deal with these like standalone products. Now that said, I am planning a couple of different things. I am going to put out what is considered like an ebook box set for my first 3 young adult novels, I believe. So I'm going to put them all together as a single ebook and try to promote that. We'll see how that goes. I really, it's the bargain value kind of promotion I can do, because it's really 3 books for like the price of 1 type of thing or whatever. So I am going to try to do some stuff with that. And I'm thinking also of actually getting large print editions of my 2 thrillers, which I had planned to do when I had the book come out in the fall, and then just could not make the large print work. Well, Vellum does have a large print option now, and I'd like to just, get used to even using it, and so I might as well, put out those large prints. There's a limit to what I can do as far as marketing those, because those are just really print books, and it's kind of tricky to market that, but I'll see what I can do. It is nice to have money coming in, from my books each month. I can tell you, when I was a traditionally published author, I did not have money coming in each month. When you're a traditionally published author, you generally don't get monthly payouts. You usually get paid, if you get paid at all. If you have royalties coming in, it's every 6 months. And that's only if you do have royalties. Now, you get money up front when you traditionally publish it. I definitely want to increase the money I'm making from my books, which is, why I'm looking at these different marketing strategies and, planning this 3-book series. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I'm sorry if I ranted too much about Amazon last week. Everyone was, because I was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is scary. I'm fine, guys. It's just, I can see writing on the wall kind of thing. I can see, the risks in having, so much income coming from, a single website, basically, that, has done some interesting things and has definitely affected, my income. But I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. Everything's good, guys. And so I do apologize about the rant last week and any ranting I did this week about taxes as well. But hopefully, by the time I talk to you next week, I will be in a much better mood and I won't be ranting about anything. I definitely won't be ranting about taxes because I'll be all done with them. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am petting a dog right now, if you're wondering why I'm getting distracted here. Yeah, a dog who was, he had his vet visit yesterday, like just his regular. He had to get his rabies and his temper, and oh my gosh, he's the world's biggest baby when he goes to the vet, and he just like freaks out, like, oh my god, strangers are touching me, I can't handle this type of thing. And it's like, oh, it takes like 3 of us to try to hold him still so they can just, check his, heart rate with a stethoscope kind of thing. I mean, like, he just freaks out so much. So we had a stressful day yesterday. That, and then I was working on taxes, guys. What a day. But less stressful today, hopefully, and certainly I will be in a non-stressful state when I talk to you next week, because all the stressful stuff will be done. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please feel free to give a thumbs up, leave a comment, like, subscribe, that sort of thing. I will be back again next week with a new video and podcast. And if you would like to know more about me or my books, please go ahead and check out my website, which is alyssagrosso.com, ALISSAGROSSO.com. And thank you guys. Have a great week.